Hello, this is day two of this journaling process. It's currently Saturday, January 17th, 3:09 a.m. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I just woke up. Um, I ain't doing anything today. Actually, I have the same shirt on. I'm gonna take a shower after this. What did I do? I went to the store. That was about it. I didn't do nothing crazy, nothing really. Uh, but I decided I'm gonna start on my book today. And with me, like starting on a book, like throughout school, throughout wherever, every time I had to write, the introduction was the hardest part and it's the part that I spent the most time on. Usually, introductions takes me, let's say I finished my essay in an hour. Introductions probably took 30 minutes to 40 minutes to even complete. Body took maybe like 10 minutes, like 20% of the time. And then conclusion, probably the same amount. The conclusion paragraph, same amount. And yeah, I don't know. I never studied why introduction was so hard for me, getting started. And I did plan out my essays or plan out whatever I was writing, but really like actually doing the introduction and doing what, talking about what I want to say or starting. I don't know if it was like fear or really like mental, and maybe like a mental roadblock in my head during introductions. But the body's like just straight facts and details or whatever. So there's nothing. If I already did the research beforehand, you can say that I worked more on the body than the introduction. But actually completing and writing and forming the sentences, the body was easy to me. Introduction was hard. Now, if we break it down and look further into what part of the introduction was the hardest, maybe the first sentence or the second sentence. I feel like the first sentence, my teachers, like from grade school, like fifth grade or fourth grade, they told me like, it depends on the essay or whatever I'm writing, but start off with something that will grab the reader's attention. Now I can do that. It's easy, but sometimes it depends on the writing or what I'm writing about. And I got to think of that, and even if that's necessary. But sometimes, yeah, it just introductions takes a long time. So I'm starting to write and see introduction. I have a lot of stories. Like if I go on my notes app, like that's why I got a lot of music, but I be using it. I use my notes app. I use it. These not all stories, but these are all like stuff I like. I do music, stories, script writing, a lot of music. Planning. I put it all in my notes app. A lot of people say like it's best to write it down, and I agree. Like when I was studying, like when I was in college, I always wrote down. I never typed. I was never a fast typer, so it was easier for me to write down, and I was used to that. But also writing down do help you remember it, kind of like actually forming the letters. I feel like I don't know. A study is probably on it and why, but that really helps me. But when it comes to like story writing, I feel like it really don't matter at this point because the story I'm forming it in my head already, and I'm connecting it. And then when I'm typing it out and reread it, I haven't been to the process yet, but I feel like the more I write it, or when I first started, when I'm in that flow, I'm just in that flow. To be honest, I'm just in the flow. I'm writing, and yeah, I don't know. There's a problem. Like I don't know which story I want to work on first. Now I told you there's an anime I want to create, but a lot of these I really want to create a movie, and most of my movies and ideas came from other ideas, or most of them came from my dreams. And my dreams, I'm glad I was able to do it. When I had the dreams, I woke up, instantly started writing it down. I'm glad I was able to remember it because a lot of people don't remember their dreams or even have dreams. And I have a lot of dreams. Like when I'm sleeping, I'm dreaming. I don't dream all the time, every time, but if I go a week without dreaming, then something is wrong with me. Maybe even 3 days without dreaming. I dreamed yesterday. I ain't dreamed. I don't even know if I see. I don't even remember if I dreamed just now. But yeah. So yeah, it come from my dreams. Now I wrote one. So right now, one of them, I just seen a video about the moon landing. A lot of people think the moon landing is fake or not. I don't. Me personally, all my life, I believe the moon landing was real. I don't have any definite concrete evidence that the moon landing is real or fake, so I'm not gonna put my claim out there. But I look at the factors around moon landing, right? So, I looked at like, okay, why haven't we went back to the moon landing? Why haven't we went back to the moon? Don't say there's no reason to, because there's no reason to do a lot of things in this world, but we still do it, and then going to the moon, like that's a reason on its own. Like just going to space to the moon, like we did it in 1969 or something like that. I really got to do my research, but if we was able to do it back then, and we still haven't did it, like nobody else was able to do it again. Get moon rocks at least. Like you can just say, oh yeah, let's go to the moon to get moon rocks. Why haven't we did it? So that's one claim. Another one, I seen a video. I don't know who it was. It was a guy, journalist. He was kind of pressuring the dude that I guess he knew about the space, or he was an actual astronaut or something. I don't know. It was like an older white dude, and I guess his belief. He believed in Christianity. So the dude went up to him and say, "Can you put it on the Bible that you've been to the moon?" And he wouldn't do it. That's strike number two. That's fishy. Like even if anybody can claim whatever, oh it's not real, blah blah blah, whatever. Like not like him. If he have a strong belief about something, and if you did something, and you can't claim that you did something on your belief, something that you feel strongly about, that's another red flag. So that that's why it get me worried about the moon landing. I don't know if it's real or fake. People say like, oh, how did they get the cameras there, or whatever. Like this, I don't believe. Like okay, yeah, and they be like, oh, there was cameras already there, bro. It's multiple. Like okay, that probably wasn't the true moon landing. Like when they first got on, people content created. They put their camera while they walking in Target, act like they don't see it. Like yeah, it's just okay. That wasn't the true first steps. Okay, but they still stepping on the moon. If that was the case. And also they can have the cameras. I feel like astronauts or scientists put cameras outside of the rocket just to see, like, the outside and different things like that. We've seen it plenty of times. But whatever. Yeah. Let's get off that. So I want to write about the moon landing, but I want to write like a sci-fi and horror fiction about the moon landing. Now the concept, they made it to the moon. Now I want it to be like the first beginning chapters. Yeah, it's about the moon landing. Yeah, we make it to the moon, and it's gonna be a quick expedition. Like we get it to the moon, we there on the moon for an hour, 2 hours tops, then we leave it. But a complication happened. Now this complication is not major, in a sense like they're stuck there. It's just like okay, they're gonna have to stay there for a day. Now, plenty of scientists or whatever, they're really adamant of not staying, and I want them to land on the full moon, a day of the full moon. This is going to be important, day of the full moon, and yeah, they adamant of them not staying, but they have to stay. Then I feel like I got to look at the moon cycles, but once it go full moon, then does it go back to like really the moon really small, like crescent, and I want them to really be adamant of them not stay there, but they're not telling nobody why. And then when they have to stay, then now they're on the dark side of the moon. Now the dark side of the moon is full of monsters, creatures, and the scientists know this, but they don't know what's on there because they've been getting signals from there, and like signals of like movement or whatever, but then they don't know what's there. But now the astronauts is there. Now they find it. Now they're seeing the monsters, different things, and they have to really survive. And I wanted to be like a sci-fi horror fiction. I want the monsters to kind of look like I don't want them to be like human like. I want them to really be monsters, like and not really intelligent, but really deadly. And I want the astronauts to survive. I want it to be like a thriller, and um, I want the whole concept to be like, oh, this is why we didn't go back because of the dark side of the moon. And that might be the name of the title of the book, or whatever, Dark Side of the Moon, or whatever. I'm still thinking about it. But yeah, that's the concept. That's one of my newer ones. Another one, I want to write a light novel, anime like fantasy journey. Um, is about these heroes, right? Typical heroes. They fight for their country. Now, yes, they go on battles, but I want the first if this is a 24 episode anime, I want the first 6 to 8 episodes of them building this hero party, this first hero party, them building connections. I want people to fall in love with them, heart grab, right? Then they went out, they're set out by the king to fight the demon lord, right? They go through a lot of hardships on that journey. I want all this is it's gonna be tight fitting in 6 episodes, but tight fitting. I want them to be on the journey. I want them to fight the demon lord, whatever. They actually do it, but I want the theme to play on, how in real life military heroes, vets, they go, they fight for the country, come back. Now they got PTSD and all that different things. I want to play on that. So now they come back. Now they seeing the horrors. They're kind of messed up. Some of them messed up in the head, and the government. Unfortunately, but the government sometimes don't support these vets as much as they need it. And same for here, I want this king to basically cast aside the heroes that put their life on the line and their mental fortitude on the line in order for them, just for his beneficial gains for the country, and not support them in any kind of way. So now they're messed up. They have no support for real, and I want stuff to pop off, and basically, I want them to turn evil. I want them to turn on the king, turn evil. Bam. Now, basically, I got to think of the battles and stuff like that. But I want these people to be the new, and like they are really strong. I want these people to be the new enemies. Basically, yeah. Now, some years later, now they're sending out other people to kill these people because they are the enemies. They're like evil. They're like probably the same level as the Demon King. And now it's gonna be another journey of, oh, and I want the main person of the next episodes after the six. I want him to be. I want one of them. Basically, I want the main character. He was part of the hero party, but he was the weakest. And the hero party wasn't. I don't want them to be the perfect. I want them to be, like how it would be in real life. Since he's the weakest, they kind of treated him differently. Some did it, some did. But I want them all to turn bad. Now he's older, he's stronger. Now he's set out by the king to kill them and have other people help him, like other prodigies, whatever. Now he's going on his journey. I kind of want him to be older than the people that set out the second time. Like first he's younger than the rest of the hero party, but now he's older. So he's like the older mentor kind of thing. And I want him and the younger companions to be like a mentor relationship. I always love mentor relationships in stories. So yeah, mentor relationship. Set out, and I want to focus. Yes, battles are important, but I want to focus on the theme of. I want to focus on the theme. So PTSD from heroes, veterans, whatever. Also, I want to focus on the journey, like Free Run. I love how they focus on the journey. Even a lot of people think it's slow, whatever, but I really want it to be like focused on the journey. I want the journey to look like Free Run, and then the battles to look like Jobless Reincarnation. That's how I want to mix of that. Not plagiarize or anything like that. I just want, if you think about it, it's like a mix of those two. Those two are like great. But I got other stories too, other things. Oh, one last one. I want this to be like a Netflix one, kind of like it's I'm just talking about stories. I'm kind of passionate about it. That's what I'm gonna start writing. I had nothing else to talk about, so hey, here's my stories. Hopefully, I have these. These are proof. So if somebody come up with these stories, I did it first. I don't know how. Word, but I did it first. But also, this one I want this one to be a Netflix one. I want this one to be about a kid. He's going to a boarding school because he missed so many classes in his own one. But something is off about this boarding school, right? Now, this boarding school, he's in an all boys dorm, but he's in the most abandoned, dirtiest all boys. Like he got the short end of the stick, and this boys. So he gets there, his parents leave him. Now in the boys' dorms for all. I wanted to start all of them. This is probably gonna be the first episode. I got to think of more into it, but all of them, they decided, oh, let's all meet up and let's all talk, whatever in the lobby or whatever, right? And some of them been there already, some of them haven't. So it's some people first days there, other people who's not. So they was talking about each dorm has a teacher faculty that either lives there or have a office there, just in case anything happens. And this one teacher chaperone is like it's like the weird teacher, it's like he's a scientist, but it's all dark and gloomy or whatever. So they decided, yo, let's go down to his office, it's dark and gloomy or whatever. And all of them decided to do it. While they on their way, most of them is backing out. Now is these two new dudes, freshmen, they still decided to go, because they wanted to prove, no, they not scared or whatever. And so they get down there, get into the office. I'm not gonna explain everything, but they get down, they get to the office, and they're there, and then they get attacked by some dark figure that's in there. Bam, they get attacked. They both get knocked out. Now the boy wakes up. Now he's going to school like nothing happened, but the second boy that went down there with him is missing, nowhere to be found. Now everybody think that boy has something to do with it, but he don't even know what's going on, right? But then all day he's been feeling weird. And he's feeling weird. He's feeling like he's kind of disassociated. I don't know if that's the right word, but and then he also feeling kind of like he's not thinking his own thoughts, and he's kind of like in a he's thinking other thoughts too, other than his own that he's hearing. Then eventually he's able to talk to the other boy in his home head. Now I want it to be like kind of like the game Beyond Two Souls. I love referencing because I do get a lot of references from other um, body of work. So yeah, I want it to be like Beyond Two Souls, and eventually, not now, but eventually he's able to visualize the second boy, but only him, and nobody else can see him, right? And then now he got to try to figure out what happened and whatever. And then the science teacher is evil, and he say yeah, he integrated them, and then now he got like a whatever. He got a second power. I'm gonna get into it. I wrote down most of it. I don't want to say too much. Cause this one I really feel like it could be like Netflix. I want it to be like Beyond Two Souls. I want it to be almost like I want the world to look almost like Lock and Key, or yeah, Lock and Key though, in that Netflix show, Lock and Key. Be how like it looked and whatever. But yeah, those were my 3 stories. I've been talking for a long time. It's crazy. But yeah, so I'm actually gonna get started writing. Also, music on the way. Can't wait to go to the gym Monday. Really lock in. I really want to get my hair done. You see my hair looking crazy. I want to get it braided. It's actually really dry right now. It's actually a lot longer. I need to get it braided, combed out again, all that. Yeah. So really, and mentally, how I'm gonna do mentally. I feel like I'm gonna give a mental update. I'm chilling. I'm not saying I'm that happiest, like a 10 happiest, but I'm chilling and I'm happy. But if I'm saying I ain't do anything today, so it's like I say it's a 6, 7, you know. So yeah, it's like it's chill. I'm chill. I'm vibing. But yeah, I can't wait to get started right on this book. Hopefully, I'll update on the journey of the book. I don't know how long each book is or is going to be. Hopefully, I write it and it's good. And yeah, a lot of shows and movies. The end goal is like I want it to become a show that that's a lot of people love, and also gotta it's still in the fact now that a lot of people might not love it. A lot of people love to criticize things right now, and it's good for criticism, but they love to over criticize or over analysis on things where you can just enjoy it for what it is. You know what I mean? It's the beauty of everything not being perfect. It's not AI. AI is not even perfect. So why you want me to be perfect? So yeah. Hopefully you just enjoy the story, make people like it, love it. Change their life if they want. It's whatever. Okay. All right. See you later. I've been talking for 20 minutes now. 3:30. Hopefully I keep up with this daily login day 2. See ya.